Hello everyone, and welcome to a slightly different format type of a video, and I'm here of course to address the recent announcement that came from the reMakable, and they actually announced like overnight the Gen 2 device, because there was a lot of speculation but zero actual factual data up until a few days ago. As far as I understand, batch 1 was like instantly gone, because by the time I actually saw the news, it was just batch 2. It's going well, obviously, for them, which is a good thing. Let's see at a glance, what can we conclude from the info that they are giving us? How do the two devices compare? And what can we expect from the reMakable Gen 2? Here we are on the reMakable 2 pre-order page, or the new marketing page for the reMakable, and there's quite a lot of info that it would be useful to actually just go through it and see how does it compare to the Gen 1 and what does it actually mean. So what's marketing mumbo jumbo, what's repeating, and what's actual substance here, because of course when you're selling stuff you have to do a lot of blah 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 blah, and let's try and kind of fuzz out the noise and see what's what. First and foremost, the visual aspect of the device I really like. At first I was kind of like weirded out the combination of the metal and the blue, but I think with the edges all the way around, I think it's gonna work really good. So it's really similar. It looks very similar to the previous one, obviously with the magnetic capability added here. So we have to have the metal on the side, and I don't mind that at all if it's gonna give us the ability to just snap the pen on the side of the device. That's absolutely fantastic. Let's just see what they are now saying about the device itself. So yeah, reMakable at a glance, they're just basically introducing the video. Is pretty cool, but it's mainly introducing the concept of what reMakable is to people who obviously haven't heard about it yet or are still on the fence about it. Then we have a bit of a comparison claims, such as 3 times the battery life. And here's the thing that's a little bit like iffy. It says 3 times the battery life, 2 weeks of battery without recharging. Now wait a minute, when reMakable 1 came out, we had weeks of battery life as a claim. So I don't know, I think I would take this one with a grain of salt. I'll believe it when I see it, because it's not enough that we just see one device being able to do 2 weeks, because that obviously happens, but the main problem was consistency with Gen 1. So hopefully that's going to be addressed with Gen 2 quite a lot. Twice more responsive. Now that's the part I'm really interested in, because reMakable is, Gen 1 is super fast. It's by far the fastest one, and if they've managed to actually improve that, doesn't have to be twice, but even, you know, 1.5, that would be absolutely freaking amazing. So I'm really excited to actually see how that feels. And of course, one of the biggest marketing selling points they have is that it's the world's thinnest tablet at just 4.7 millimeter thin, which is really thin. That's going to be interesting to actually see how it handles in the hand and how it feels in the hand as well. Now we get to the magnetic accessories, which is for me a huge thing, because I think that's something that's lacking in pretty much every single device, where to store your pen. And if you remember on my channel, I was also asking like, why wouldn't you be able to just snap it on magnetically? Then there was a discussion of e-ink displays working with magnets and being sensitive, but obviously somebody was thinking along the same train of thought, because it's just awesome, because magnetic forces are magical, you know, there's like invisible thing just going. I can't wait to actually see that, and I love the fact that they've obviously spent time to solve that engineering problem, so that the magnetic forces don't interfere with the e-ink display. So awesome stuff. For me, that's like the most like, ooh, can't wait, because I just see that I'm gonna be playing around with that a lot. And I love the fact that the other accessories are also magnetical, so they just go yes. Then we got the built-in eraser only in the premium pen. A lot of people care about that. I personally don't. I really don't mind going tip, but great. And we have some people writing and thinking. really thinking. It's interesting that everything around him is empty. Maybe that's the problem that he's thinking on. How can I get more people around me? Never mind. Now we get to some beautiful renders of the design, and we see that the metal goes all the way around, and I love the fact that it's flat and not like Onyx books, that it doesn't have that chamfered design. So that means that it's hopefully gonna be very comfortable to use. Buttons seem to be gone. And I know a lot of people are probably gonna go yay or nay, but for me personally, that's a big nay, because I don't want the gestures. I really don't like the gestures and the way they are. So, however, if we look at this side here, at the bottom, we have quite a lot. So hopefully they have touch buttons, not physical buttons, but capacitive touch buttons there. I'm just kind of like hoping for that, because that would be really cool, because I really want to have my option of pressing an area for a button to flip to a next page instead of the dreaded gestures, because those gestures, when they were introduced, they did not work that great. And then we're, you know, if that's the only way of switching to pages, then we're at the mercy of state of the software, which is never a great thing. But yeah, I get it. A lot of people are going to be like, no buttons, plus it's cheaper, less physical parts and stuff like that. So, and less things to go wrong, to be honest. It's 2020, we gotta lose the buttons, I guess. I don't like it, but that's the way it is. Conversion, your notes organized, eye-friendly reading experience, which means black and white, no backlight, no front light, no light at all. So it's a paper replacement thing. So if you're thinking, does it have lights of any sort? None. Colors? No. A visualization power tool. Really? How about adding some basic shapes like circle, square, line, and other things like that, and then maybe call it a power tool. Right now it's a tool. So yeah, it's a good tool, but I really wish they added more. They had a lot of time to add a lot more, and they still didn't, and that's a shame, because yeah, it would be a really cool thing to actually have that properly done. So we have comparison, some more marketing stuff. No socks. Then we got our new accessories, the standard folio, which is really similar to the original folio, and we have the book folio, which is really cool because not only does it flip around like a proper book, but it also has the charging port exposed so that you can leave it charging and protect it, which is a nice thing and something that I always missed, and it's still missing here in this design as well. The new pen looks pretty much the same as the old pen, except that we have the eraser on the Marker Plus. The Marker Plus is a little bit heavier, but they both are magnetic, which is something that I really love, so that's kind of cool. Let's see the technical specifications. How does it compare to the Gen 1? The size is pretty much the same, very similar, but the new one is slightly less tall and a little bit more wide because of the added sides here. The old thickness was 6.7 millimeters, this is 4.7 millimeters, so this is going to be a significant difference in thickness. This is something that you're definitely going to notice. However, the weight, because we're using metal now, the weight has increased. So the old one was 350 grams, this one is 403.5 grams, so 53.5 grams heavier. So I guess that increased weight combined with the thinness is probably going to give it a very nice feel in the hand when working with it. Hopefully not too heavy, we'll have to see. We have a significant bump from a 1 gigahertz single core 1 gigahertz CPU in Gen 1. In Gen 2 now we have 1.2 gigahertz dual core ARM CPU again. Also a bump in memory, not the type, just the amount, so we're up from 512 megabytes to 1 gigabyte of RAM, and unfortunately no bump in the internal storage, which I really don't understand. I mean, 16 gigs would have made a hell of a lot more sense than 8 gigs. Then we have the second generation canvas display, same specifications, everything exactly the same, but apparently a lot faster. So that's something, and more responsive apparently. So we'll have to see how that goes, but as far as the size and resolution and everything else, it's pretty much exactly the same. As far as I know, I think it's the exact same type of specifications for the markers. Then we have both 2.4 and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi, hopefully better than the original one. The same battery. Yeah. Why, oh why wasn't it bumped up to 4000? I guess they couldn't then get it to be so thin and that light and all that kind of stuff. If they're able to actually get the full 2 weeks, properly 2 weeks, with the 3000 milliamps, then great. If not, then it's a missed opportunity, and I would have sacrificed 1 millimeter of thickness for a longer battery life. Software-wise, from the screenshots here, they are all screenshots from the current software here. There isn't a single thing that indicates anything new at all, not even a single icon or anything like that. So I'm not sure that we're gonna see anything new on the Gen 2 device in comparison to the Gen 1. I wish we would get a little bit of better turnaround as far as the features go, because some features are still lacking. You'll be able to see in my upcoming video when I'm comparing Onyx Book's Note 2 and reMakable Gen 1 head to head. I'm going to talk about these missing features that they're just really needed to be there, and there's no excuse why they're still not there. There's been plenty of time to actually implement these things, so hopefully they'll be in place maybe for June, July, by the time reMakable 2 comes out, Gen 2 comes out, so we'll see. So what can we expect from reMakable Gen 2? Well, I don't think we should expect anything more than an iterative update type of a release of a device. So it should be better, incrementally better in everything when compared to Gen 1. But it's not a whole new ball game, except for 4th, which is something that I really love. That's just my personal thing. I am looking forward to that one a lot. It's going to be interesting to see how does the performance bump actually reflect on the performance of the device, because it's very fast and very efficient, even as it is now. If you've just purchased reMakable 1 and you're going like, no, why did I don't think that you should beat yourself over the head too much over it, because you're not gonna miss too much at all. And also we have to see what happens with the buttons, because yeah, as I talked about before, I really don't want to be left at the mercy of how well the gestures function or not. So what are my thoughts about it? I'm looking forward to it. I'm honestly really looking forward to seeing it, to see how it feels and how it actually is as a writing experience. I think that the magnetic accessories are an awesome thing. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the screen feels, if they manage to improve it even more. I hope we see better connectivity as far as hardware goes with the Wi-Fi. I hope we see more stable and consistent battery life in Gen 2. Honestly, I'm really looking forward to this one because I think it looks very sleek, and I love the little additions that are added here. So it's a really cool thing, and I hope they manage to actually introduce this concept to a lot more people. Because I think that they're doing a really great job. Again, I think hardware-wise, great job. Software-wise, I really hope that they could speed things up a little bit more. But alright, fine. Hopefully more customers with Gen 2 will allow them to hire more people who will be able to then give a better and faster turnaround as far as the software iteration goes. So here's hoping. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you next time. Bye.